Unless otherwise indicated, all the following scripture quotations are taken from the Holy Bible New Living Translation, with copyright by Tyndale Foundation, used by permission of Tyndale House Publishers, all rights reserved.
Hi, I'm P.S I. Welcome back to my channel, and this is a mini applause for you. Why do you get a mini applause? Because you're quite simply amazing, and because you made it through everything that you're going through yesterday, today, and since I have faith that you're going to make it through to tomorrow. Why don't you just hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be here when I post another video. Okie dokie, so today we're going to be talking about Encanto again, because I've been thinking about Encanto and I thought there are so many things that we can learn from it. So I wrote down 10 things that you can learn as a family or for your family from watching Encanto. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. Number 1, learn to say no and accept no within your family. Now I know this is a little bit controversial in a sense, because like parents tend to have this mindset that what I say goes and my kids can't say no. But I actually kind of watched a TikTok, I can't remember the lady recently, and she said that in her home it's okay for her kids to say no. And I actually started implementing it in my home with my son. And I thought to myself, oh, it's actually kind of working. There's a safe space now for him to say no, and then we can have a discussion about it. And I thought that this makes our family healthier as a whole. So I think that we really need to learn to say no, because you can see that with Luisa and Isabella, they didn't have that space to share that part of themselves, and so they ended up feeling under a lot of pressure, and there was a lot of divide in the family because of it. So we need to create a safe space to say no. Number 2, we have to support each other even if we don't always agree with each other. Yeah, when we think about Encanto, I really think about Bruno's gift with this one, because everyone seems to make it seem as if Bruno is the reason that bad things happen to them. Meanwhile, he's actually just telling them something that could potentially happen in the future, because foresight as a gift is not ever really like set in stone. And that's kind of what Bruno actually says to Mirabel as well about the vision he had about the house. So the thing is that we need to support people even if we don't agree with him, right? It's not Bruno's fault that these were the types of visions that he was having. He had no control over which visions he could have, or I'm sure he would have chosen to have more positive visions and a positive outlook on life. But we need to support people whether we disagree or not. And I don't mean like go with people to rallies of political things that you don't support. I mean, we need to reassure people that we love them, we care about them, and they are a valued part of the family even if we don't agree with their opinions and views. Okay, number 3, we have to talk about things. I've spoken about this many times already. We've got to just discuss things, and we've got to make sure that our families are a space where we can be open and honest with each other and just have those blatant conversations, say, Mom and Dad, I'm feeling this, or speak to our siblings or whatever, and just so that we can clear the air and make things into a healthier space, right? Number 4, everyone is part of the family, even if they are different. As somebody that kind of like identifies on a whole bunch of weird different scales, coming from a conservative Christian family, I would appreciate it if I could feel that I was a valued part of any aspect of my family, despite maybe being someone that identifies as a goth or pastel goth or kawaii or whatever, any of those kind of style things that I tend to like, you know, that are not typically part of the ideal for a conservative family, right? For example, tattooed people tend to also be looked down upon in lots of different families, especially conservative Christian families. And I think we need to understand that people are part of this family whether we agree with their viewpoints and whether we agree with their life choices or not. I know that a lot of LGBTQ plus people also struggle with feeling that, and I think that Encanto is a film where you can really take that lesson away, that we are family even if we don't have the same viewpoints, we don't look the same, we don't have the same gifts, and we don't all come from the same place when it comes to our understanding. So I thought that was important, right? Number 5, talk to people about how they feel and be specific. This one specifically applies to like the situation with Abuela. I've made a video about how I feel that Abuela is actually still grieving and hasn't grieved properly, which is the reason the Encanto is breaking, or the gift is disappearing in a sense. And I think that as a whole, we need to check in with people and not just ask, hey, how are you? Because the usual response is going to be, oh, I'm fine, how are you, right? We should actually actively check in with people and say, how are you doing about this issue, or how are you feeling about this specific issue? Is this still a problem for you? Do you need help? What can I do to assist? Okie dokie. Number 6, try to find your own solutions before giving someone a responsibility. Louise's song Surface Pressure speaks about this a lot, where she just took all of these things onto her shoulders, and not necessarily her fault, even though she didn't seem to say no. She's a kid. Often kids don't say no because they're taught to respect and do what the family tells them to do, right? And I feel like that if people had just tried to solve those problems without just resorting to her gift all the time, that would have made things a lot easier for her. And so we tend to take people for granted in that way, and just, oh, can you do this, can you do that, because we know that this can happen or that they're capable of it. Which actually leads me to my next point, which is number 7, don't overuse someone's abilities even if they can do it. Dolores most often gets asked to overhear people from far away, which is a weird thing. It's actually spying. But the thing is that, like Abuela could have just asked someone, send a note to Mariano, and like, you wouldn't have to get put Dolores in the position where she's overhearing someone that she has a crush on, because she already has this difficult gift, or this gift that might be complex to control. So people need to remember that a gift is something special and shouldn't be taken advantage of, and neither should people be taken advantage of in families. Okie dokie. This also brings me to point number 8, which is don't expect things for free. Always give everyone due praise and compensation. This is something where a lot of families struggle, and a lot of families actually fall apart, because people are being asked over and over to do things for others, but they don't get praised when the matter is solved, and they don't get compensation for it in any way or form, right? You've all had the family member that asks you to do something, and then like they don't actually give you what they said or agreed to, or they don't actually do anything. They just take all the praise when the projects are finished, and it really sucks. And I think that we need to learn how to appreciate people properly in all different types of families. Anyway, number 9. Pleasing people on the outside of the family is not as important as making sure the family itself is healthy. Time and time again, you see this in Christian families, especially when it comes to the church and those type of places, or influential places, or when your family is trying to be like an influential family or is an influential family. The family on the inside is completely fractured, but to the outside, to the public, a lot of celebrities as well struggle with this kind of thing. They're completely fractured on the inside, but to the public, they're presenting this perfect front, and it's very toxic and really dangerous, right? And this now brings us to point number 10. Don't wait until the breaking point to fix things. Up until that point, there is an opportunity to fix things, to change things, and to make sure that everyone's getting their needs met. Once you reach breaking point, that means someone has had enough, and the chances are that you can't salvage the situation from there. Okie dokie. So let's go to our scripture of the day, which is from Colossians 2 verse 14 to 17, which says, He cancelled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. In this way, he disarmed the spiritual rulers and authorities. He shamed them publicly by his victory over them on the cross. So don't let anyone condemn you for what you eat or drink, or for not celebrating certain holy days or new moon ceremonies or Sabbaths, for these rules are only shadows of the reality yet to come, and Christ himself is that reality. Okie dokie. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of the video. If you have liked this video, I would appreciate it if you could like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, just let me know what else you picked up from Encanto, and a couple things that maybe you thought I missed, or I don't know, whatever you thought about Encanto, please leave it in the comments. I would love to read it. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you have a fabulous evening, because you deserve it. Bye.